My name is Mariana, and I'm the CEO of The After Cancer, and today I'm going to tell you how we're creating healthier and stronger cancer survivors. But before I start talking about the business, I have to share something really personal. I have a family history of cancer, my mom, 2 uncles, and 2 grandfathers. And so that's what made me start this business. One of the things that really surprised me with my own experience with cancer was that being cancer-free and out of treatment does not mean you're healthy. Most of people right now survive cancer, and that's awesome thanks to early diagnosis and better treatments, but most of those who survive, they actually struggle. They struggle with emotional concerns like the trauma of having cancer, depression. They struggle with physical concerns because of the treatment, things like pain, memory issues, fatigue. And around a third actually have so many limitations that they're not able to go back to work. In this segment of the population, cancer survivors have really high out-of-pocket expenses. We're talking about 2 times higher than those of a person without a history of cancer. When you look at a total market, total expenses spent out of pocket for cancer survivors, that's close to $45 billion. And this includes anything that is like healthcare expenses, for example, treatment, medication, but also a lot of complementary and alternative medicine expenses. And so when I started this company, my main question is, how can we provide survivorship care to what's going to be around 20 million patients at the end of 2024? And through our own experiences from the team, but also during more than 100 user interviews, we found 3 main barriers of access to survivorship care. So the first one is specialization. When you're a cancer survivor and, for example, you're struggling with mental health and you want to see a therapist, you have to see someone who understands about oncology and cancer. It's not only a therapist, it's the therapist. And that's really hard to find. The second one is accessibility. If you live, for example, in Charlotte, you have the Atrium and the Novant systems, and so you can go there to access a lot of these types of practitioners. If you live in Wilmington, there's not going to be a local specialist that can help you. And the third one is affordability. So we hear about financial distress after cancer treatment. Around 50% of cancer patients go into financial distress and debt after their treatments, and so this is something that we were really concerned about too. And so we gathered a team of cancer survivors, caregivers, and healthcare experts to build The After Cancer. So I'm Mariana, the CEO. I co-founded this company with Dr. Bailey Jordan. She was the head of integrative oncology at Levine Cancer Institute and has been offering this type of service for more than 10 years. Caroline Knudsen did the MBA with me at HEC Paris, and she just joined us as COO. We have Dr. Jarvis, who's leading all of the programs and content, medical content, and Cheryl as a survivorship mentor. And so we launched a direct-to-patient proof of concept in January, focused in North Carolina and South Carolina. And there's 3 main features in this. One is knowledge. We want to share information about cancer survivorship, that it's reliable. And so we started producing blog posts written by both patients and our practitioners. The second one is community, and this is something we kept hearing from patients, that it's, I feel lonely, I want to talk with someone who has been through the same, I want to feel part of a social group that understands. And so we started offering monthly support groups, and these are free. And then an MD-led group program. So this is a program where over 6 weeks, a group of 12 patients are seeing an MD on a one-to-many, so on this group. And so they're learning about survivorship, they're getting information about their side effects and how to deal with them on a group setting. And then the third one is personalized care. So video consultations with practitioners, and you don't have to drive 1 hour to go see a therapist or to go see an MD that knows what you're going through. You can do it online. We're getting first signs of traction, which has been really exciting. We have a community of 74 breast cancer patients with whom we do the support groups. We saw a 52% conversion rate on this MD group program that we started in January. And for this, self-paying. Some patients are being sponsored by one of our partners, that it's a nonprofit, Nothing Pink, that it's paying patients, basically the services for patients to use our platform. And then we had over 40 different practitioners, so from MDs to yoga instructors, who have shared interest of joining our platform. We're getting really good feedback. So here, Sarah is a breast cancer survivor, and she's sharing how we helped her navigate her post-cancer care in ways she didn't even know existed. And who is Director of Operations at Nothing Pink, one of our partners, shares how we're filling a void for anyone who has faced a cancer battle. Just to wrap up, so our journey so far, we launched a proof of concept. Our main goal was to really get data points from demand, patients, and supply practitioners. Our ambition for this year is to focus on moving into a B2B2C approach, so getting partnerships, getting distribution models with health systems and nonprofits, and basically move our proof of concept into a patient-centric product. Our long-term vision is to become the leading provider of cancer survivorship care in the US. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana. Really good presentation and really interesting business. First of all, for everybody in the audience, storytelling is the best way to engage your audience. So the personal story that you opened with is a really great way to open a pitch because it tugs at the heartstrings and it pulls in everybody. But I think you went through a lot of the things that I look for in a pitch. It's really hard to do in 6 minutes, but you hit traction, you hit team, you clearly define the problem. I thought that was really well done. And your slides are very clean also, so nice job on that. Again, I cheated. I know that you have at least 16 practitioners lined up because they're listed on your website. You may have more than that. So I think traction is good. And I think you could even move that up in the slide deck a little bit because it says a lot as to where you are. So my questions are, first of all, is there any HIPAA? Are you subject to HIPAA here?
On the video consultations with clinicians, yes. Okay. But on anything that it's a group program, no, because it's based on education. It's one-to-many.
Okay. So what does a clinician have to, what kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? What kind of, you know what I'm...
regulatory aspect of it?
Yeah, the regulatory side.
So for us to contract clinicians, the way we set up our company, we're a C Corp. In North Carolina, it's actually legal to do corporate practice of medicine. So we have to hire the MDs and clinicians through another company. So they have to have their own PLLCs or LLCs.
Okay.
And then they, in terms of HIPAA, it's just a few contracts that they have to sign, but it's
up to them. You just have to work through a third party.
Yes.
Okay. So there's, first of all, how do you make money? We asked that of Alexander.
Yeah, let me show you. So right now we make money in 3 different ways. One is through the video consultations of practitioners. So they have to pay us an admin fee every time they have consultations through us. If they don't have consultations, there's no costs, either for us or for them. And that admin fee, it depends on the type of visit and if it's a first time or a repeat patient, but it goes from $11 to $69 per visit. Then for anything that it's video consultation and group programs, partners can pay a one-off fee and users too.
Do the practitioners set their video consultation rate?
Themselves? Yes.
Okay.
So right now they're setting on their own rates, and we offer them. We basically have an EHR platform that they're using for anything that it's like medical records, video calling, and CRM, scheduling management, and stuff like that.
My only concern is the barrier to entry here. You have big guys like Athena Health out there that have a similar program, and it seems like they could turn this on very easily. And so that would be my only concern, is just that there's these large healthcare providers out there that could jump in. But if you want to... I got a response for that, Rob. Here you go.
So with building the community and the care, we're uniquely positioned to really offer comprehensive care. So there's for sure a lot of people offering telehealth video consultations, but you don't see them specializing in cancer. And that's like the one thing that it's really important. They offer really like generalist therapy or MDs. When we go into what's happening in cancer, we see people focusing on communities, which is more the sharing, kind of like Facebook's in a certain way for cancer survivors or patients. We see a lot of inpatient. These are like 2 really big players in specifically cancer treatment phase, and that's not where we are targeting into. And you're starting to see some survivorship startups, but they're mostly focused on all the care team and on the more PCP and medical aspects of it, where we play much more on helping people go back to their lives and the side effects management.
Okay, so I'm going to preface this by saying part of that list that Juan didn't include is my background is I'm an experimental therapeutics neuro-oncologist.
Okay.
So, and I get pitched a lot of these companies. And a lot of them actually target what appears to be a much more diverse patient base because are you intending to focus on women?
No. So we started with that use case, breast cancer. We're now lining up to do a program for colon cancer. The idea is to do any cancer.
Okay. Get rid of pink then on your pitch deck. Okay.
Oh, even this one? Okay.
I'm just saying your pitch deck is pink, so I'm literally going.
woman.
It's very woman forward. So I just assumed you were excluding men. So that's just a tiny little like, oh, it's women focused. So if that's not what you're intending, and then I love seeing an all women team, but you may want to actually have a man because diversity on the opposite way actually works in the same way, right? So just remember that. And then diversity of, language, ethnicity, all of those, because a lot of the cancer survivorship groups that I'm actually seeing are looking at communities of color, and a lot of these platforms don't even touch those communities. Yeah. And they are exclusive to the very unique challenges that those communities are facing because of the medical barriers that they already face, and then layer on cancer. So that's kind of thing number one. However, I do like, can you flip back to your offerings? I thought this was a fantastic slide.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like, if this is all you presented from and talked about everything else, this is a fantastic slide. This is what I thought, oh, she must be targeting men as well. This is fantastic. Okay. So, I mean, I think your offerings are spot on. The one other question I had was, I was like, how is she going to keep people from advertising? Because I see people trying to throw their products into your mix, or their supplements, or their whatever, because that's the one complaint I tend to hear from cancer patients and survivors is everybody under the sun is trying to sell them a cream, a pill, a device, a back brace, something, right? So do you intend to include advertising at all on your platform? And then are you going to keep practitioners from pushing things onto them, because practitioners also do the same?
So no, the goal is not to do any advertising. We thought about going into products like selling supplements or things like that that usually MDs prescribe. We have a very clear rule on our terms and conditions with practitioners, which is only the MDs actually are able to provide recommendations for supplements. That's a really big thing in cancer, and it's really dangerous because it can interact with any other treatments that they might be. So we have that as a rule.
I like that. No, otherwise, I thought this was really good. I'm excited about the space in general, and I like the direction you're going. I agree with Rob on traction. And I know you only have so much time, but definitely really good presentation, good area. Just, definitely consider all the intersections of diversity, especially with the medical establishment and the barriers that some of your populations are going to have, even coming into, before they even get to a cancer diagnosis, and then before they even get to finding a supportive community. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Well done. Yeah. We have a minute left. Any questions from the audience?
Well, you didn't ask me, right? I know this is not a place to ask me, but we have to have a page. Board star as the one before.
Yeah.
Ask how much you need. There may be investors in.
So I think the question is what you're asked.
Yeah. It's somewhere here. Okay.
She's got a slide for that.
So we're starting our fundraise in March, and we want to raise $2 million. And the main goal is, one, build a product. So moving from this scrappy proof of concept that it's working really well to actually building tech, but also really investing on the B2B2C approach. direct to patient is really hard and really expensive to scale. I'm sure you know about that. And so we are looking into getting more partnerships with health systems, insurances, and payers.
Is that pre-seed or seed capital?
So right now I've put my own money to build the company. I think we're in between a pre-seed and seed, trying not to title ourselves and see what investors call it.
And what percentage are you willing to give?
If you want, we can talk. This is not supposed to be Shark Tank.
It's good. You may have found an investor.
All right, thanks.
Nice job.